All right, I don't say this very often. I haven't said it in a long time, actually, but I'm glad tomorrow's Friday. There has been a bit of a shift, and things are not working that well right now. I did okay today, but it's actually a lot like work lately, so I'm ready for a weekend to clear my head. Um, the SPY did find some afternoon buying. There's a daily, a little bit of a bottoming tail there. Here's 5 minute candles, all right? Look like it was rolling over. Really nice buying in the afternoon. So we'll see if it's back up from here. But underlying, the market feels kind of weak to me. Like pops are getting sold really quickly. Um, and believe me, I'm in the trenches, so I'm seeing it, right? So anyway, let's go into the watch list for tomorrow. PRKR, it had the gap up, and then 2 days down. You've got more than a gap fill here. Great support down in this area. So I'm looking for this thing to maybe turn back up on Friday. We'll watch it. Momo, a lot of times the stock gaps up and ends up in a range. Well, here's if it's going to be in a range, here's the bottom of the range, here's the top of the range, and it's coming back down toward the bottom. That's weird action, right? You had the gap up on earnings, then you had a rip, and then all the way back down into that range of the first day. So it's weird, but I'm gonna put it on balance watch for tomorrow. TELL, this is on balance watch just because you've got, I don't know, 7, 8 red days in a row back down to a recent low. Actually took that out today, but you're starting to get that downside shape with the big volume. That one is overdue for a bounce back up. So just looking for an oversold bounce. Remember, I don't hold anything overnight, so I'm just trying to find stuff that might give me a trade tomorrow. MYOS. I mean, this is a fairly handsome chart. Big spike, gap up that failed, and then a spike again, and then a quiet inside day. So I don't really have a trigger price for you. Maybe let's look at it on 15s real quick. Yeah, it's just not that clean. This thing only almost has to get up to maybe over 350 before I get excited. But we'll watch it trade and see. Let's see, PTX. This one's pretty interesting. Gapped up in late February on news, came back down, put in a lower high, came back down, put in a higher low. Also, if this can get up like through 4, it might retest this high back here. It's putting in higher lows now. So if it can break this resistance right here and get through 4, that might be a nice trade. I definitely want to watch that one. FNSR. Now this one actually, if it hadn't had earnings after the bell, I'd say, hey, this is a pretty handsome chart. You got a high, lower high, and kind of a flag. So if this can push up, but instead, in after hours, they had earnings, and this thing tanked. I actually briefly, when I saw it tanking in after hours, I briefly put in a bid at 20. I thought it might flush below the whole number 28. I put in a bid at 27.77, and then it was trading at like 29. Next thing I know, it was trading at 28, and I'm not one for trading after hours really because it's very illiquid, and I went ahead and pulled my bid, and it went down maybe 15 to 20 cents below my bid and then ripped back up to 30. So it would have been nice, but I chickened out. I don't like the lack of liquidity, but I will tell you, in after hours on earnings reports, there are crazy moves that if you have a bid in place, you can make some money, but there's always the danger that it's going to keep falling. Anyway, having said all that, it's trading at 29.16 as I'm making this video. I kind of liked it down here below 28. You've got support from here, and a pretty big sell-off. So if it can get down to this area, it might give an intraday turn. So I'll be watching that gap down to see if it gives a setup or not. SKLN. This one has had some really nice spikes back here, here. Decent one here. And then you had the gap up the other day. And now it's really found support at $2. Like 3 days in a row is right there. Kind of started to pop yesterday, and then today an inside day. So if we switch to 15s, it's kind of clean, right? You had the gap up, nice support. If it breaks above, say, yesterday's high, which was 220, I'm sorry, today's high, 223, you might get through this 230 area, and then it could be up from there. So it's a pretty thin stock. It can really move at times. So I kind of like it. Say 224 would be probably the first catalyst that might get it going. Let's see. Dry ships. You can't really tell anything on the daily chart, so let's just go to 15s. I had this on watch, and it was flagging all day. Earlier in the day, I called it at like 163 with a 158 stop. And I didn't even realize till later that it actually did come down and hit the stop before it went. But when it was flagging, I told everybody in the room, I jumped on the mic and said, hey, if this thing gets back through the highs, you've got the pre-market highs there too. So I said, if this thing breaks 170, it might see $2. And lo and behold, it did exactly that. I did make a couple thousand on that move. And the reason it's on watch is because it's dry ships and it seems to have bottomed, right? Got nice support down here. Now, having said that, it's extended in the short term, so you never know, right? But if this gives a nice setup, it might push through too and rip some more. Doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. I had a nice trade in it today, but keep in mind it's dry ships. TGTX, I don't like trading stuff that's extended, but this had the gap up and just a crazy day. And then, a strong day. It looked like it was rolling over. Now it's up to new highs after that gap up. So this one, sometimes, man, stocks just keep going. I'll show you AUPH as an example, right? This thing gapped up, sold off, and then hasn't really looked back since. So I don't think it's out of the realm, or I don't think it's irresponsible to put TGTX on watch and see if it gives us a setup. CATB. This is weird. You had the huge gap down and then a nice volume day today. The high today was 133. It had a spike back here to 139. And after hours, this is trading at 156. So, if it holds that, and then tomorrow we open up kind of into this gap in the 150 area, a potential gap and go. I don't know what sparked this rally. And it's a very weird chart, but definitely worth watching in the morning as a possible gap and go. GNCA, really nice breakout 3 days ago. Then it looked like it was rolling back over. And this one, now you say, wow, this is really holding up. So if we get back above this red candle, above 564, this one might continue higher. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and put 565 in my notes as a potential catalyst. And then I've got a couple more. MEET, which had the gap up, and now you've got a couple days, you had then a day lower, and you've kind of got a 2-day high here right around 582. So let's look at it on 15s. If you get up over this 2-day high, maybe it challenges this $6, and maybe that's enough to push it through the open of the day of the gap up. Maybe it breaks out. That's a lot of maybes, but we'll put MEET on a chart. And then lastly, I have MXPT, which had a nice volume spike for this stock, and well over a 10% move coming off of a bottom, right? Nice consolidation down here. So this one might have a follow-through day. That's my list, guys. We'll look for gappers in the morning as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.